Ever wondered how your favorite app came to be? This is where we product managers shine. We are dream weavers. We make ideas come into reality. We build products from the idea phase to the market. Hi, my name is Jesu Bamila Aimeton. Imagine trying to solve a problem. Let's say you have a problem with getting an apartment to stay, and you know that a number of people would have that same problem. Now you want to solve that problem. You want to digitize that experience. So you want to build an app where you have someone bring their house to the platform while the other person can easily inspect the house on that same platform and place an order or rent the apartment without having to go through the stress of walking around the street. To build that, you need designers, you need engineers, right? You need marketers, but then someone has to lead the course. Someone has to chart the course in that sense. So that's where we come in as product managers. We are the one who would help you bring all of these ideas into a viable product. As product managers, we understand the user need, we define the product strategy, we come up with all the requirements needed to deliver that product. And with us, you can be sure to have an awesome product that is actually solving a problem. So you might be wondering why product management? All right, it's just like you sitting at the front row of innovation. You are shaping the future. You're collaborating with brilliant minds to come about solutions that would solve the world's problem, right? And it has a huge career growth potential. You can be sure of the future. You can be sure that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, you still stand relevant, because the truth is you keep solving problems, and how you keep solving problems is by building products that actually meet the user needs. Ready to embark on your product management journey? Our course will equip you with the essential skills to succeed. You will learn about market research and user analysis, product strategy and roadmap creation, product development and launch, data analysis and metrics, agile methodology. This course is not just going to be about theory, it's going to be a means to get a practical experience. You'll be working on real-life projects that is going to be beneficial to your career growth. Let's create amazing products together. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms. Ever wondered how your favorite app came to be? This is where we product managers shine. We are dream weavers. We make ideas come into reality. We build products from the idea phase to the market. Hi, my name is Jesu Bamila Aimeton. Imagine trying to solve a problem. Let's say you have a problem with getting an apartment to stay, and you know that a number of people would have that same problem. Now you want to solve that problem. You want to digitize that experience. So you want to build an app where you have someone bring their house to the platform while the other person can easily inspect the house on that same platform and place an order or rent the apartment without having to go through the stress of walking around the street. To build that, you need designers, you need engineers, right? You need marketers, but then someone has to lead the course. Someone has to chart the course in that sense. So that's where we come in as product managers. We are the one who would help you bring all of these ideas into a viable product. As product managers, we understand the user need, we define the product strategy, we come up with all the requirements needed to deliver that product. And with us, you can be sure to have an awesome product that is actually solving a problem. So you might be wondering why product management? All right, it's just like you sitting at the front row of innovation. You are shaping the future. You're collaborating with brilliant minds to come about solutions that would solve the world's problem, right? And it has a huge career growth potential. You can be sure of the future. You can be sure that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, you still stand relevant, because the truth is you keep solving problems, and how you keep solving problems is by building products that actually meet the user needs. Ready to embark on your product management journey? Our course will equip you with the essential skills to succeed. You will learn about market research and user analysis, product strategy and roadmap creation, product development and launch, data analysis and metrics, agile methodology. This course is not just going to be about theory, it's going to be a means to get a practical experience. You'll be working on real life projects that is going to be beneficial to your career growth. Let's create amazing products together. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on the country you are joining from. Please confirm you can hear me. Hello, can anyone hear me? Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, I can hear you. So, hope you are good. What's happening? Are we good? Are we happy for tonight's class? What's your expectation for tonight's class? Yeah, you can use an emoji, you can use a reaction button. Tell me, what is your expectation for tonight's class? What are you expecting? Okay. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. I've not seen anything on the chat box. Like, yes, now you have to smile. Yeah, it's really cool to smile. So, what are we expecting tonight? Timmy and kitchen. Yes, you're excited. Yeah. I hope you've started thinking of your idea of building your food hub. Wow, thank you so much, John. Okay. Wow, great, great. Another dimension of product management. All right. Who can remind me of our last class? What was the topic we had in our last class? And who can just I need like a recap of what we did last on Wednesday. Yeah. Is there anyone that can just summarize everything that we learned on the chat box? I want to know if I'm actually giving out value, if you are getting value from what I'm teaching. So, can someone just summarize what we did, probably in 2 or 3 lines before we commence today's teaching? A PM is a mini CEO. I know that mini CEO, that aspects. Mini CEO, mostly about what project management is all about. Yeah, what is product and product management? Yeah, fantastic. Wonderful. Yes, okay. What other things we discussed last week? I remember we discussed what product is. We started by defining products. Yes, we talked about product management. Yes, the key roles. Fantastic. The challenges. Who can tell us one of the challenges PM faced as a PM? Okay. We also talked about importance. Okay, fantastic. Project management skills. Yes, yes. Who can tell us one of the problem that product managers faced? One, one problem. Key specialization, top 10 skills. Hey, we have brilliant PM on this chat. Like people that are really intentional. Okay, today's topic is pro life cycle. Fantastic. Managing people, meeting deadlines, navigating market change, the voice of the customer. Fantastic. Wow, great, 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 great. Prioritization of features. Wow, great. So we will even summarize what we did last week. So I think we should just comment today's class because we have almost everything on the chat box. The challenges, dealing with products. Yeah. We discussed who is a product manager, what he does, challenges of importance, what differentiates between PM projects program. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like, wow. I don't even know what to say really. Wow, I can see the vibe, the energy. I can see people who are really, really intentional about growth. And with this spirit, I'm sure that in 3 months' time, you should get your first gig with this energy and you're really, really, that you've put in. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So I think let's start this class. So today I'll be taking us through titled product life cycle. So if I share my screen, can somebody just tell us what product life cycle is? Remember, there's difference between product development life cycle and product life cycle. So don't mix it up. Don't mix it up. So anyone, yeah, a PM is a CEO. Yeah, great. Is there anyone that can tell us what a product life cycle is before we commence today's? Before I share my slide, rather. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are doing fantastic. Wow. Okay. So, what is product life cycle? Product life cycle. What do you understand by that word? Product life cycle. A PM must be a good thinker. Yes, yes, yes. The stages of a product. The stages of a product. Yeah, half mark, extra. Yes. Pro life cycle management is a succession of strategies by business management as the product goes through its life cycle. Great, great. Another person, product life cycle. From the word life, from the word cycle, products life cycle. Does it even define itself? Well, to me, I would say product life cycle means the conception of a product to actualizing I can't let me say actualizing it to the final stage. Correct. Is a stage of product from initiation to completion. Correct. Fantastic. Is the length of time from a product being introduced to consumer until it is removed from the market. Great, 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 great. Stages where a product goes through from ideation right up. So when they die, when they die through when they die, although some product never dies. I love that. Yeah, he or she must be okay. No, I'm not sure, but I think it should be the period of time in which a CEO wants the product to work, and the lifespan of the product. Great. Projects Products life cycle simply means the stages or strategies that a product or idea needs to undergo from the ideation stage to the launching stage. Correct. From ideation stage. I was saying that there is a difference between product development and product life cycle. Arize, sorry if I didn't call your name very well. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to murder your name. You are defining product development life cycle. Product development life cycle is ideation from your ideation to launching. That's the development phase. But product life cycle is product has been introduced. Do you get? So you are defining product development life cycle. Okay. Entirety of a product from ideation to the satisfaction of the product. Everybody has given their own definition. Like you're correct, really. Everybody is saying um it's a phase and step taken throughout the production. Fantastic, like awesome definition to everyone. Yeah, we've all said no wrong answer, no right answer, right? But at least we have an idea of what we are talking about. We have an idea. So yeah. Thank you everyone for your contribution. So product life cycle is when the product has been introduced, from when the product has been introduced to the market and when it is removed from the market. Do you understand? We are right. We can also simply say that product life cycle is when product has been introduced to the consumer, from when it was introduced to when it was removed from the market. So the entire lifespan. You can just see the entire lifespan of a product. Let me use this as an illustration. Product development is like the process of when somebody is getting. Thank God we are all ladies. All right, we are all ladies. So product development is just like when how somebody when it how a child, how do I even say it? Wait, I'm trying to like say it in a way that we can understand. Okay, before a child was born, somebody is laughing. Thank God we're all ladies. We're all ladies, so you can relate to what I'm trying to say. Okay. Product development life cycle is the process of getting pregnant. Then product life cycle is now when the baby is born, the entire lifespan of that baby. I don't know if that makes sense, right? But I just wanted to have like an understanding. So the process of getting pregnant, right, is product development life cycle. That's the process of when that product is from idea, from the brain, becoming life, launching. That's product development life cycle. Then product life cycle is when you have the baby already. The baby is you've given birth to the baby. The entire process whereby the baby from nursery school to primary school to secondary school to university, masters, PhD, getting married, making babies, old age, then RIP. Do you understand? Do you understand? So to the point of when the baby is no more again. So that's product life cycle. So the same thing applies to a product. So when product was introduced to the market and when the product is no longer in existence. I don't know if I'm communicating. Do we all understand? Sorry. Attendance will be shared. Don't worry. Just let's just concentrate before the ending of the class. We get attendance. So we can explain what product life cycle is. Thank you. All right, thank you. So I'm gonna share my screen now. So once that is done, I won't be able to read comments. But whatever question you have, just drop them on the chat box. As soon as I'm done sharing my screen, then I'll attend to all questions. All right. So let me share my screen. Hmm. Another thing I forgot to even mention was I noticed our last class that people are actually uploading what where they learned in our last class. Wow, like kudos to everyone that you know that even took that bold courage to at least I saw some updates on LinkedIn because I was tagged. Like, wow, great. So at least I love that move. Even you don't necessarily need to write a very long content to let people understand your journey that you've started your PM journey. Even if you have two, three, or four likes, don't be discouraged. Continue building your channel. Build it. Because I saw some updates on LinkedIn. Please, ma, can we have this like you will get it. I'll share it with you. You get the one of today and the one for Wednesday. So yeah, I'm trying to share my screen. I think please confirm you can see my screen. I want to be sure you can see my screen before I proceed. Can you see my screen? Please confirm you can see my screen. All right, okay, because so yeah, we've done the recap, right? So now Product life cycle. Like we define on the chat box that product life cycle can be defined as the stages of growth and decline a product experiences between when the product was introduced to consumers and being discontinued. You can see, looking at this illustration, this is the seed. This was when they started. This was when they introduced the product, right? And this is the next stage, which is the growth stage, and this is the maturity stage, and this is the decline stage. So it has to do with when the product was introduced and to when the product dies. So I think we've explained this also. We don't need to dwell on this one for too long. So why is product life cycle important? Product life cycle is important because it will inform management of how its product is performing, right? And what strategy approach it may take. Because if you do not know what if you don't know the stage at which your product is at the moment, you will not even know how you are maybe you are performing, maybe you're not performing well or not. You might not be able to know the next approach to take. And if you don't know this, you might end up wasting resources, and at the end of the day you might not be able to really achieve your objective. So product life cycle is very, very important so that you'll be able to identify the stage at which you are in the life cycle of your products, right? Do you understand? So by being informed of which stage your products are, a company can change how it spends resources, what product to push, and how to allocate staff time and what innovation they want to research about. Maybe it is time they increase their marketing, right? Because it is where you identify your what's it called? The stage at which you are, like, what step to take. Do you have to increase your marketing? Is it that you need to to speak to your customers? Is it that you just have to go back to your drawing board? Maybe what you are doing is, maybe something is wrong, or you need to conduct more research. So all of these things will teach you what to do, because you already are able to identify the life cycle, the stage at which you are. Do you understand? Yeah, so that's it about that. And products might, okay, let's get there before I explain that part, so that I don't want to jump slide. Um okay, so the next one is stages of product life cycle. Most products fail at this stage. Do you know why? Because some reasons why product fail is, one, maybe because of increased competition, right? And this is the stage in which the product is initially promoted. The introduction stage, right, is when you need to create more awareness, right? This is the most, like, it's a very important stage because you are trying to introduce your product to your target audience. This is when you need to start telling your audience, this is what I'm working on, this is my idea. This is when you have to increase your advertising, reducing your prices. You need to start, this is a period whereby you just have to, like, tell people that this is what you are doing. You are trying to introduce your products, right? So this is the stage in which your product is launched. This is when you start telling people, I just launched my product, this are, do you get? This is when you be able to, like, know if your product, it's what your users really need. Do you understand? So this is where you know when to increase your advertising, like I mentioned earlier on, or this is where you need to know if you need to expand to a new market, or you need to redesign your package. Do you understand? Because as soon as this product is introduced, you still have to get feedback, and that's why we tell product managers that we should be agile while we are working on our products. Don't use waterfall. Waterfall, you just build everything, bam. But agile, you just work with your minimum features. In as much that product will function well, work with your minimum features to test your idea. That is the reason why it is important for you to first of all launch an MVP of a product. Testing, test your idea with minimum features. So introduction stage is a stage in which your product is introduced for you to get your to know if your product is what your users are really interested on. And this is when you have to be you're advertising. You need to advertise in such a way that you have to be very, very crazy about your adverts. Like you have to be very, very I don't even know the right word to use. Aggressive advertisements. That's the word. Don't let me use the word crazy. I don't know if do we all understand what the introduction stage is all about. So this is the first stage after launching. Who knows the next stage? I wish I can read comments, but I cannot see it. But you can drop the next stage. So once your product is introduced, what do you think is the next stage? Drop it. But I know there are some people who are already practicing PM on this call. We have three categories of people. We have people who are practicing, who are just trying to expand their knowledge. We have people who don't even know anything about PM. And the third set of people are they have little idea, right? But they want to like build on the little idea they have. They want to like increase what they already know. So it depends on the category you are. So what's the next stage? I'll check the chat box later. So regardless of the phase you are, let's just pay attention, right? Yeah, there's no island of knowledge. We are all learning. So yeah. So for introduction stage, there are two strategies you can use to introduce your good to your consumer: penetration pricing and skimming pricing. You know, when you are launching a new product, when you are introducing a new product, your pricing model also matters in the sense that some users will increase. Okay, some users, some companies will increase their pricing, right? Why some will just bring it down. So it depends. So we have two strategies to determine to introduce our good to our consumer. So the first one is penetration pricing. Penetration pricing is setting a low initial price to quickly attract a large number of customers, and then raises it after the customer base is established. So I want everybody to, as I'm explaining this, imagine yourself as a founder of a product. Which of this pricing model would you like to adopt? Is it penetration pricing? Is it penetration pricing or skimming pricing? But I'll explain both. Maybe after explaining, then you now tell me which one you feel is the best model for you to adopt when you're newly introducing a product that you've not even have a large customer base, that you are still trying to get create awareness, trying to just get your target audience, to get your product. You are still trying to get your users. So what do you think is the best penetration best pricing model for you to adopt? So for penetration pricing is when your initial price is low, and after your price is low, you attract your a good numbers of customers. Then as soon as that happens, that you've gotten your enough customers, you now decide to like, okay, let me increase it a bit. Can we make mention of what product is adopting that method? You can drop it on the chat box. There are some products that I think you want to buy something on. Is it on what products? I think I've gotten some products online that you'll just say, okay, because it's a new product, they will reduce the price. And now when they now become big boys and big products and they're well known, they'll now start increasing. You can drop some of those products on the chat box, the one you've experienced, so that when you started buying, it was very cheap. At some point like this, the price just increased. So one of the advantages of penetration pricing is rapid market entry, right? People will patronize you because they know it's very cheap, in as much they are getting value from your product and it's even cheap. So there's possibility that the newly product that you've introduced, people want to buy it because it's very cheap, it's very cheap. So there will be a high volume of sales, and there will also be brand awareness. So but the disadvantage that is there is that there will be lower profit margin, because I don't expect somebody that is newly introducing his or her products, right, to be after profit at first. Like I tell people, that if you are launching a new product, for instance, first of all, just increase your customer base first, gain audience, let them know what your product is all about. As soon as they're able to trust your product, they cannot be considering the money aspect. Do you understand? So the disadvantage there is that you might not get enough profit at first, and also it might be very difficult for you to raise your prices later. But I'm sure that if they're able to get value from your products, and they've gained your trust, and you tell them that this product, when you use this product, so you become okay. Let me use, what products can I use? Thank God we're all ladies. For all of us that we are doing beauty, all this, what they used to call this, is it all this cream that they used to use like this, is it beauty care they used to call it? Because I don't use all these things. I don't have time. So all these beauty care, these things that we use, girl ladies we used to use like that, yeah. So when they advertise it online that, oh, this is what this cream will do. If you use this cream in 24 hours, if you are black, you change to yellow. And you bought the cream and you eventually change to yellow. You know, they've gained your trust. But it's not that but when you were advertising the product and everything, and you say when you use this cream, just use it once, that you will change to yellow, and you now bought the cream. You're not seeing Coke, you're seeing Fanta, you're seeing Limca, you're seeing Goat Spot, you're seeing Pepsi, you're seeing all manner of colors. You know, you've lost their trust eventually. Do you understand? So it could be a challenge that you might not be able to increase the price later. But one thing I'm sure of is that if they can earn your trust at first, that shouldn't be a problem for you to increase your price. I don't know if I'm explaining it the right way, but that you can understand. But I hope you have an understanding of what I'm trying to say. So that's it about penetration pricing. So, like I said, setting a low price so that you can attract large numbers of customers. Then later, when you've established your customer base, then you lift it up. Do you understand? So that's it about that. So the next one is skimming. Skimming pricing is when a market decides to place an higher initial price than their competitors, then now lower it as the demand decreases. I think for this skimming pricing, right? You know, there are some products that you launch, you introduce that you already have, or maybe you have fewer competitors, right? Because the competitors for that product is not really much. Then you decide to lower it, right? No, sorry, you decide to like increase the price. You know, there are some products that even from day one, the price is high. I don't know if you have any product like that. That even it's a new product, right? But the price is still high. Do you understand? So this is another way. It depends on your pricing model, as you know, that your company is trying to adopt. But a skimming pricing is when a market decides to, use an higher pricing than their competitors. Then later they will lower it, because when they cannot afford the price, then they will now have to like lower it. But they start higher, then they break it down. If you have any product like that that you have an encounter with, you can drop it on the chat box. But I cannot see, but I'll see that later. So one of the advantages of skimming pricing is higher profit margins early on. So the recovery of development costs quickly, and also segmentation of customers. You know, there are some products, right? There's a particular product I will not mention to you. That product, even if that product is 1 million, people will still buy it. It's a device, so I will not mention the name of that device. That product has some customers, and even men using that kind of product. People that you are using some brand. They are telling you, do you get? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, because I know that we're having, you know, the ladies on this call, we are unique ladies. We have standard. You understand? There's a particular product that just the brand alone is very expensive. We know that, but that's what people are buying now. You can drop it on the chat box. That product, just in as much as that brand they are using, there is this, and I don't know the word to use, right? There's this kind of respect that you tend to like have when people see that kind of device with you that you're using it. What product are you using? I'm using this product. So people are actually, is the product they are actually selling. It's the brand that they're actually selling, not what's it called? But you understand what I'm saying, right? So We have some product like that, even if it's 1 million, they will buy it because they've already earned their trust, right? So that's it about that. I don't want to dwell more on that. So the disadvantage is that lower market penetration will lead to limited initial customer base and potentials for attracting competition. I think we understand that. So um the next stage is the growth stage, and the growth stage is where your product starts to grow. I don't know if you understand that. So the next phase is the growth stage. So the growth stage is the stage whereby there is a significant increase in consumer demands. This is where your sales will begin to increase, right? But when you if your competition, right, has become very high, then the company will have to like invest in hats, in promotions to beat out competitors as a result of the sales. So the product will just have to, they need to begin to expand, more, get new customer because they will have new customers. Because number one, the product has been introduced. So the next thing now is that there will be a significant increase. You are your consumer, you've already established your product, like they already know you that oh there's this product. So obviously you know that your consumer demands will be increasing. Your, and you also know that as your consumers are increasing, your competitors are also what? They are also increasing, right? So this is where you even have to like also invest in ads and promotion. Some companies they get to decline stage at introduction phase. Some startup, right? For the fact that you introduce, everybody want to test new products. The early adopters, they want to like, when a product is launched like let me go and we have some people that the innovators, the early adopters, they want to like test that product. We have some people like that, and for the fact that you are using a penetration pricing model, they want to use your product. You now relax, we have enough customer base. Before you know it like this, you just enter decline stage straight out. Do you understand? But it is after that introduction stage you still have to like, also you don't have to relax. So that's the stage that you also need to like intensify your advertisement, your promotion, because your competitors will be increasing then. So as a result of sales and expansion in your customers base, so you have to like increase your advertisement. I don't know if I'm making sense. Do you all understand what I'm saying? So if your customers are satisfied with the product, they will buy it, they'll keep buying and buying it and buying it. But if they are not satisfied, you understand what I'm trying to say? So at every phase of your product, there's need for you to always try to get feedback at every phase. Because if you fail to get and this is one of the reasons why I used to say that as a product manager that is managing your products, there's no bus stop for you. I mean, there's no end. And how do I say that? Like there's continuity even after the product has been launched, compared to a project manager. That a project manager, deal is deal, and once it's also dates timeline, I'm done with you. I don't care if sort of, do you understand? But for a product manager, even after the product is launched, that is when I feel your work even started, just begin, because you have to gather feedback. So if a company has a PM, you should be able to identify what stage are you, and this, check um the numbers of engagements on the products, gather feedback. What are customers saying about the products? Because before you know it, you just realize that you have gone back, you've entered decline stage. We have so many products like that, so many startups that I don't want to, we all know now, we all make research that it's just the introduction phase and you no longer hear about them. Lots of them, lots. So the growth stage is where your product starts to grow. In this stage, a very large number of people money is spent on advertising. Yes, because I've explained it, so I don't have to start explaining again. So you want to concentrate on telling the consumer how much better your product is, better than your competitors' products. I hope, am I communicating? Am I communicating? So ways in which you can prompt a product in growth stage. If you are successful with your advertising strategy, then you will see an increase in sales. You will know, because there'll be an increase in sales. So once your sales begins to increase, your share of market will what? Will stabilize. So obviously. because you have to like track it, you have to follow up, and that's why you also need a PM. Product manager is, in fact, we are everything. If you're on this call, please just celebrate yourself once again. Congratulations to me, Olabisi. It's not easy to be a product manager because I'm wearing so many hats, so many. Where if you're a designer, if you're a backer, whatever you think you are, you still have to listen to me. Sometimes I used to tell my team, like, yes, I know you can code, but regardless of what you're coding, you still need to work with what I've written. Is not like you just wait for us just cash cruise. It's not deep, but there is this confidence, there's this boldness that, if I'm talking to my team, or like, listen, I know you know how to code, I know you know how to design, but regardless, you still have to follow what I've written down. So PM, you're a mini CEO. They are on, like, they have to listen to you. So that's why you just have to like try as much as you can to like gather all the knowledge that you need to know about this, because I'm telling you, it's worth it. It really does. And if you notice, most designers now, they are trying to like, most of them are transitioning to PM. Yes, most of them, they are transitioning to PM now. Because everybody wants to be a product manager, product manager, product manager. Why? So please, and even after class, please don't stop here. Even once they are done, you can still watch some videos on YouTube on this topic. Even the last one I explained to you, to get, because I can't explain everything. You do get, and you cannot use this slide to like get all the in-depth knowledge, but at least you can have an idea, the basic understand, but also watch more videos on YouTube, make more research. Do you understand? So that you can make sure you are grounded. Do you understand? It's what it's. So that's the about growth stage. So what's the next stage? What was the next stage? We have four stages of product life cycle. The first one is what? You can be listening on the chatbot, but I cannot see it. The first stage is what? Introduction phase. The second one is what? The growth stage. And even as an individual, when you give birth to you as a baby, that's the baby. Do you get? That's the introduction phase. That's the phase that everybody's trying to like. I want to be an adult. Everybody's trying to climb up, climb up, climb up. And now that we are now adults, that's the growth stage that we are right now. Then after the growth stage, that's when you are still in your teens. Then when you're in your teens, that's the Gen, is it Gen Z they call them? Say the Gen Z, right? Then the next one will now be what? Millennium. So millennium is called what? You should be able to know the next stage. I wish I can read the chat. What's the next stage? The millennium stage. That's the what's the maturity stage. But I cannot read the chat box, but I wish I can. So that's the millennium stage. So if you are thinking, if somebody just wake up like, hi. Sorry, I've forgotten the different stages of product life cycle. Oh, just remember my example, right? Start you like when you were still a baby, introduction. The next stage, Gen Z. That's the no, is it Gen Z? The next one is, yeah, Gen Z now. That's the growth stage. Then the next one, millennium, adults. That's the third stage. So with that, I can easily remember. Can't forget it. I hope am I communicating? Yeah, thank you. So the next one is maturity stage. This is the big boy stage. This is the stage whereby is the most profitable of the life cycle, as the production volume has increased and the cost of producing and marketing declines. Why? Because you've already gained ground. They already know your products. So this is the boiling stage. I don't know if you understand. So this is when the your production volume has increased and the cost of sales also has the cost of producing and marketing declines. Then your sales might become slow, indicating because you already have a largely saturated market demand. Do you understand? So company might how do I even say it, might need to like thinking, they might start to like develop a new or an alternative for their product, because they are, what's it called, there's a saturated market demand. Do you understand? By then you already have different market segments, because you're now you've grown. You don't even need to do. There are some products that you cannot see their adverts online, and yes, they are making money. Can you give me an example of those products on the chat box? What products? There are some products that they don't do advertisement at all, and yet they are balling, they are known, and they are selling. You can't see their ads online because they've already gained the trust is there. Do you understand? So that's maturity stage. Maturity stage is the third stage in the product life cycle. Do you understand? If your product completes the introduction and the growth stage, then it will then spend a great deal of time in the maturity stage. During this stage, sales grows at a very fast rate and then gradually begin to what to stabilize. I don't know if I'm making sense. So this is the big boy stage, right? Do we all understood my explanation, or you want me to take it again? I mean, do, do we all understand? I wish I can even read the chat box, but I cannot see it. Just give me an examples of those products that they are mature, they're in their mature stage. They don't even do ads, but people know them and they trust their product. Recently I came to realize that there are some products that really it's just brand that they are selling because they've already earned trust. And even some newly products that they are even much better than those products. I got to realize that recently, but I don't want to mention products because I don't want to mention products. I realized that I used to use their products, very expensive products. They don't do at all, but because of the products, because of the trust I have in them, even when I was in high school, I am still using that product. But recently I went to a supermarket to get that thing. They don't have. So I now said, there's this new one I even saw, a new product. I said, let me even test it. And I bought it. And I used it and I was like, oh my God. And for the fact that the product was cheap, I think the person used the penetration pricing model. I didn't even want to buy. I had to check Google to check reviews about the new product, and I was getting a very good review. So I bought it. I cannot buy that. I've made up my mind that I'm no longer using that. That's the one I was using before. That they are selling their brand because they've entered maturity stage. I'm not buying it again. I told myself that BC, I'm not using that product again. Number one, it's too expensive. I don't want to mention the name of that product because we're all ladies. If I mention it, you won't know it. But I don't want to mention products. But in my mind, though, I'm not buying that product again because it's just price it's just name they are selling. So this is what I'm trying to say, that when a product enters maturity stage, you just is the volume stage, right? Do you understand? I don't know. Are we do you all understand what I'm saying? Am I communicating at all? Okay. So who knows the next stage, the last stage of product life cycle? Who knows the stage? If you know you are sure of yourself, drop it on the chat box. Let me check when I'm done sharing my screen. The last stage is the decline stage. That's the last stage. And this decline stage is it avoided? It's unavoidable, but it can be avoided if you are smart enough to be able to to track your products. Do you understand? Decline stage is a stage whereby your your customers are no longer deriving pleasure again. You understand? It's a stage whereby, for instance, now look at when typewriter. Who knows? For those of us that are not from Nigeria that were on the call, do you know what typewriter is? Nobody knows what typewriter is. I'm sure my Nigerians, we know ourselves. You know what typewriter is, right? Then that typewriter was boiling, right? Then be typing. Now typewriter has even entered decline stage because we have computer, we have lot of gadgets that we can use. So um typewriter now has entered what? Decline stage because they fail to innovate, they fail to expand, they fail to try to like develop their products. There's an application that every day you are seeing upgrade. You just see new feature. Do we all know that product that by the time you just check this, I will not mention the name of that product. Let me just mention it because it's actually a good testimony. It's not that I'm trying to spread the brand. WhatsApp. Like, I'll just log on my WhatsApp, I'll just see new feature. Like, who is your product? There was a time I wanted to send me, like, I want to know who your product manager is for this WhatsApp. Before you know it, you just see new feature. Before you check the next a new feature. Like, I mean, can you see the speed at which they are growing, right? You can you see the speed. So as a PM, right, these are one of the most important things that you should be able to like identify whatever company, whatever products that you are working on. If you are being employed as a PM, really identify the different stages of a product when we give you like the mindset, the idea, we give you the right approach on how to handle that kind of stage that you find yourself tracking progress at every point in time, so that if you're able to identify the stages you are, they can easily correct it on time. Am I making sense at all? We have so many products that they started well. We listed some products yesterday, such as, I don't know if I should mention those products, so, but we know those products that they started, and at the end of the day, because they were relaxed, and you don't know that it is when you are even when you're in that growth stage. That is where you even need to create more awareness. Maturity stage, they've heard it, the value, the brand, the stability is there, but also they themselves too, they also need to do what? They need to think of alternative ways, alternative products that can reach their different market segment. Because at this stage now, their market there's a saturated market demand, because their market segment has increased, so they might need to also work on increasing that as well. So at every phase, I'm going to give everybody an assignment tonight, that you should look for a product that's look for at least two products. Or should we make it one more product? Because let's just do one more product. Itemize one more product. One product that is in introduction phase, one product that is in growth stage, one product that is in maturity and decline stage, and tell me why you feel that they are in that stage, and explain how they can move to the next phase. Do you understand the question? List out at every stages of product life cycle. Look for a product around you and tell me what stage. For instance, you can say WhatsApp. What stage is WhatsApp now? Is it introduction phase? Is it growth stage? Is it maturity stage? Or is it decline stage? So whatever stages they are, you can just tell me why you feel they are in that stage. Do you understand? State the reason why. And what are the things you feel they need to do for them to move to another stage? Do you understand? So that's about that. I hope I'm communicating. If you have any question, just drop it. Everything we attended to as soon as I'm done sharing my slide. So the last stage is the decline stage. So the decline stage is a stage in which sales of your product begin to fall. Either everyone that wants to buy your product or a new product has been created to replace yours. Is either two ways. Is either there is a competition already, somebody else has done the same thing, or two, maybe they no longer they don't have interest. Normally, if you are there's only let's use water for example. You are very very tasty, right? You go home and you took a cup of water. You are very very tasty. You took the first one, you took the second one. Now they are taking that water that is satisfying your need at that moment. You'll be what's the word? You get satisfied at some point. You get tired. Your satisfaction will just be falling. Do you understand? So that's what happened to decline stage. And that's why let me use this as an example. I don't know if let me just try it. Let me use thank God we are all ladies. So it's very easy for me to communicate this with you. For instance, should I say should I use marriage, or I should use boyfriend and girlfriend? Okay, let me not use marriage, because marriage is still eternity. You don't have a choice. You are married, you are married. So if you develop yourself, if you don't develop yourself, you are married. So you cannot leave your wife. But should I use marriage? I think I should use marriage really, because you are married to. Should I use marriage? I don't know which one to use, Sha, but let me just, you are in a relationship with someone, probably a girl, so both of you are dating, right? And when you started the relationship, maybe like 5 3 or 4 5 months or 6 7 months down the line, you are still the same person you are when you met. Nothing, no improvement, no growth. I believe all the ladies on this call, you are not like that, because for you to have even taken a bold step to like you want to like empower yourself shows that no, you are not that kind of person. But normally as an individual, you have a relationship, even if it's just girlfriend, you are my friend, I'm your friend, and we are not growing, you realize at some point your interest will be what will be reducing because there's no growth. So the same thing applies, and that's why when I see Gen Z at times, I will be telling myself at times that like the rate at which they are growing, right? The rate at which like I attend tech event a lot in Lagos. And when I get there, young ladies, young, early 20s, some mid 20s, and I'm like, this is very good because they are developing themselves. And some companies they prefer hiring, they would like to hire Gen Z. Why? Because they are vast in knowledge, they are open to learning, and they are fast learners. So for people like that and millennium, they just decide to like they are just there. So even we are not how we are talking about product, but even as an individual, as human being, if you are not growing, you know what that means? If you have a relationship with somebody, you just say at some point they are tired of you because nobody wants to associate with people that are not growing, and you attract your kind. So when they notice that you're not growing, they will start avoiding you. They will avoid you. So same thing applies to products. That when you develop a product, for instance, you should try to like, okay, we've done this. How can we improve on these features? How can we improve on this? We need to improve because if we don't improve, satisfaction will drop. And competitors are for people that are your competitors, they will reach out to your users, they will do their competitive analysis, they will figure out what your loopholes are, the things they are supposed to do they are not doing, and they will do it. And once they do it, they will capitalize on it, and your customers will move to them. Because why? Because they've been able to identify the areas in which that you are what you are falling. So you should be ready, like to innovate. I don't know if my explanation is clear, but I think I'm able to convince you and not to confuse you that if you don't want to get to a decline stage, at every stages of your life cycle, product life cycle, get feedback, conduct research, gather like know the stage at which you are. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think that's the best explanation I can give. Even as an individual, if you are not growing, it's very difficult for us to communicate because at some point you like, what's happening? So please, I hope I'm able to I know to communicate something, right? I hope I'm giving value. I able to deliver value. So other consideration is that very few products follow the same cycle. Even there are some product that is even introduction phase that they will enter decline stage. And the funniest thing is that there's no like, so that's the type where when I was typing. And the honest thing is that there is not that for introduction phase now, it takes 3 months or 5 months. There's no specific time. Anytime. You see, you understand? Anytime one could enter decline stage. Because if you launch a product and you do not follow up, you didn't track your progress, and you don't know what your users are saying. There's a product. I don't want to mention that product again, so because we did a product tear down on that product. The product was so relaxed that I think they've arrived. Pam, wind up straight out, decline stage. Now they are no more. They are dead. So very few products follow the same cycle. Many products don't even make it through all the four stages. Some stages even bypass stages. And some people just move from introduction, they just move to maturity. It depends. It depends. So this is a problem with the product life cycle. There's no set way for product to go, like I mentioned. So therefore, every product requires a great deal of research and a close supervision throughout its life. And without research and proper supervision, your product might never get out of the first stage. So I think with this few point of mine, Okay, I was thinking that was the last slide. So if you look at this now, the y-axis is telling us this is sales and this is the time. Looking at this is the introduction phase. Can you see? It started like this. From there, it's moving, going up. From there, see maturity stage. So for maturity stage, if you are not, you see, it's falling. Satisfaction, and that's why even this maturity stage too. You need to start thinking of how you're going to add more features. Though you people already know you, right? But at the same time too, at every phase, you have to innovate. You have to think of something new. You have to like think of something new. And you have to like gathering feedback is very essential. Very, very, very important at every phase, at every stages. You just have to gather feedback. And and when I'm filling some Google form like that, they'll ask you that what other features would you like to see differently? And when they have those features, then you can also improve on that, because that's the only way. If you look at WhatsApp, I so much love WhatsApp because that PM, I don't know who the PM is, but that PM, wherever you are in the world, you are doing a good job. You are doing a good job. Yes. And we have other products like that. Even Facebook, you can see there are so many products that they are, there are some products like, look at Apple product, for instance. Apple is already in maturity stage. I'm not supposed to say this because I've given assignments. But you understand, right? So please, I hope I'm able to to explain the different stages of product life cycle to us, and why it is very, very essential for us to know the stages at which we are at every interval. Yeah. Wow. I think we have enough time to take questions, and yeah, that's all. Thank you all for listening. Can I have questions? Uh yeah, so I can read comments. So can I take your questions? Let me just say. Attendance will be shared with you. I'm sure they're going to do that. Attendance. Let me see. Okay. I said we'll have to go on a break by 8 p.m. Oh, I just got that. I don't know if it's something we can still do. All right, I think we have to go on a short break now. So once we are back, then um I'll take the questions, right? So yeah, we'll go on a short break for like 5 minutes. Then as soon as we are back, then I'll take questions. So drop your question. Yeah, thank you.
Ever wondered how your favorite app came to be? This is where we product managers shine. We are dream weavers. We make ideas come into reality. We build products from the idea phase to the market. Hi, my name is Jesu Bamila Aimeton. Imagine trying to solve a problem. Let's say you have a problem with getting an apartment to stay, and you know that a number of people would have that same problem. Now you want to solve that problem. You want to digitize that experience. So you want to build a app where you have someone bring their house to the platform, while the other person can easily inspect the house on that same platform and place an order or rent the apartment without having to go through the stress of walking around the street. To build that, you need designers, you need engineers, right? You need marketers, but then someone has to lead the course. Someone has to chart the course in that sense. So that's where we come in as product managers. We are the one who would help you bring all of these ideas into a viable product. As product managers, we understand the user need, we define the product strategy, we come up with all the requirements needed to deliver that product. And with us, you can be sure to have an awesome product that is actually solving a problem. So you might be wondering why product management. All right, it's just like you sitting at the front row of innovation. You are shaping the future. You're collaborating with brilliant minds to come about solutions that would solve the world's problem, right? And it has a huge career growth potential. You can be sure of the future. You can be sure that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, you still stand relevant, because the truth is you keep solving problems, and how you keep solving problems is by building products that actually meet the user needs. Ready to embark on your product management journey? Our course will equip you with the essential skills to succeed. You will learn about market research and user analysis, product strategy and roadmap creation, product development and launch, data analysis and metrics, agile methodology. This course is not just going to be about theory, it's going to be a means to get a practical experience. You'll be working on real life projects that is going to be beneficial to your career growth. Let's create amazing products together. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms. Ever wondered how your favorite app came to be? This is where we product managers shine. We are dream weavers. We make ideas come into reality. We build products from the idea phase to the market. Hi, my name is Jesu Bamila Aimeton. Imagine trying to solve a problem. Let's say you have a problem with getting an apartment to stay, and you know that a number of people would have that same problem. Now you want to solve that problem. You want to digitize that experience. So you want to build an app where you have someone bring their house to the platform, while the other person can easily inspect the house on that same platform and place an order or rent the apartment without having to go through the stress of walking around the street. To build that, you need designers, you need engineers, right? You need marketers, but then someone has to lead the course. Someone has to chart the course in that sense. So that's where we come in as product managers. We are the one who would help you bring all of these ideas into a viable product. As product managers, we understand the user need, we define the product strategy, we come up with all the requirements needed to deliver that product. And with us, you can be sure to have an awesome product that is actually solving a problem. So you might be wondering why product management. All right, it's just like you sitting at the front row of innovation. You are shaping the future. You're collaborating with brilliant minds to come about solutions that would solve the world's problem, right? And it has a huge career growth potential. You can be sure of the future. You can be sure that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, you still stand relevant, because the truth is you keep solving problems, and how you keep solving problems is by building products that actually meet the user needs. Ready to embark on your product management journey? Our course will equip you with the essential skills to succeed. You will learn about market research and user analysis, product strategy and roadmap creation, product development and launch, data analysis and metrics, agile methodology. This course is not just going to be about theory, it's going to be a means to get a practical experience. You'll be working on real life projects that is going to be beneficial to your career growth. Let's create amazing products together. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms.
The world of technology is constantly
Yeah, all right. Can you all hear me? All right, then I'm re- can you all hear me? Somebody said we don't need a break. Ayomi said we don't need a break. I just go there right now. Okay, please confirm you can hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, let me. Yes, I can hear you. Great. So I have some couples of questions here, and let me just go. Let me read the question one after the other. So let me start. The first question says, um, why use agile methodology, man? Why not object-oriented analysis and design? Okay, you and the second question, I would like to ask if the knowledge of a product management is only restricted to tech. What about organizations that deals with physical products and not necessarily service oriented like applications? We haven't gotten any of the past class slide or resources. Because when are we going to get them? For if a product enters a decline state, how can a PM revive it when a product has gotten to a decline stage? All right. This is a lot of questions. So we have the link on the screen. Kindly click on it, the attendance link, so that you can take your attendance. Okay, for the first question. The first question is why use agile methodology? All right. Honestly, to be on a safer side, right? The best approach if you're working on a product is you have to be agile. And one of the reasons why you have to be agile is because it help you to iterate. It help you to know if what you are currently working on is what the users really want. Do you understand? So most companies they don't use waterfall. I don't know. Maybe because I've not worked with a company that uses such method. But most companies they use agile methodology. And that's the best thing that is expected for a company that wants to grow, that doesn't want to waste resources, because you can easily iterate when you use agile. Do you get? The flexibility is there. For instance, you build a product with minimum features, because and with the minimum features I'm talking about is the most important features that that can test your idea. So and after launching, you did your normal, you expected to like hear from your users if the product is actually meeting their demands, if it's meeting the right target audience. If it is not, and you've already built all the features, what do you think you will do? You've wasted your time, you've also wasted your resources. But when you use agile, you can it's limited. You didn't use all the features, you use the most important features that you'll be able to test your idea. You can go back, work on it and iterate it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, an agile methodology and OOAD, they serve different purpose in software development. So, choosing one over other depends on the project's goals as well and their needs. Do you understand? But agile is more suited for projects because there will be rapid development and flexibility, and it will allow your team to adapt to changes and also to prioritize your features, your customer feedback. Or OAD, it can be integrated within agile as a design approach, but does not provide the iterative and collaborative benefits that agile methodology offers for project management and development processes. I don't know if that answered your question. So that's the first question. So let me go and check the second question because your questions are a lot. Let me see the second one. I would like to ask if the knowledge of PM is only restricted to tech. Product management is only restricted to tech. And what about organizations that deals with physical products? Anyways, it depends on the organization really. But in the tech space, we have different types of skills, right? Depending on whatever industry you find yourself, right? You can work as a PM. So it depends on what they want. Because what number one, what is your role as a product manager in whatever organization you find yourself? Be it tech, be it physical organization, what is your role? In as much the need for that service is needed, then you can work there. So I feel as a product manager, products, you can even physical organizations, you can work as a PM. Do you understand? because you're managing their products. We can't do without products. Do you understand? Even we having a conference call, it's still products. Normally, there should be a building. Imagine we have people that are from UK on this call. We have people that are from US on this call. Imagine if it has to be physical. So it's still a product. So products manager, you can work both physical, you can work anywhere, but it depends on what that the needs of that organization at that moment. All right. I don't know if that answered your first question, but if it doesn't, you can go for that. And I'm ready to answer. So we haven't gotten any of the past class slide or resources. You get it. You will get it. Please, are we going to get them? Yes, you get it. If a product enters the decline stage, how can you how can you if a product enters the decline stage, how can a PM revive it? And when a product has gone to when a product has gone to a decline stage. All right. If a product has gotten to a decline stage, yes, it's possible that yes, you can revive it, but there are a lot of steps that you have to take. Number one, you need to it might be due to so many reasons because first of all, you need to know what happened. You need to know what really happened. One, it could be because of maybe you need to rebrand your product, right? Okay, let me give you a comprehensive explanation to that. Okay, there's something we call product relaunch or revitalization, right? So yes, a product can be revived after reaching the decline stage in the product life cycle, and this process is often called a product relaunch or revitalization. Do you understand? So as soon as you can actually achieve that, if you had carried out the research, from the research you've carried out by your existing users, you know what is the problem. It could be your branding. Maybe you have to do like a sort of rebranding for your products. Do you understand? And maybe your pricing. Maybe your pricing is, is there might be so many reasons. But even when you have entered that stage of that dead stage, you can still revive your product. You do a product tear down. You know what a product tear down is? Like you need to break when something is torn. You understand? Like you do a proper tear down of your product. You need to carry out a research on your products. I'm sure from your products you might be able to identify if there is need for you to rebrand it, if there is need for you to enhance your products, if there is need for you to adjust your pricing strategies, if there is need for you to engage in promotional campaign, if there is need for you to improve your distribution channels, if there is need for you to address your customer feedback. But it's a lot of work. You have to put in that work. But it's possible. It's possible. You have to have one-on-one interaction with your users. Do you understand? So it's possible. But don't get to decline stage before you get feedback. Do you understand? So that's it about that. What other question do I have here? I don't know. So at what stage do you experience it? By the time customers are no longer patronizing again, sales is not no longer, you're not getting sales again. You will definitely know that you've entered the decline stage because people are no longer interested in what you're working in, your products again. Even from your sales revenue, you will know that you've entered the decline stage already because you will know there won't be patronage again. The numbers of users will reduce, engagement will reduce. You will know now. Even as a business person, if you're having a shop, you're selling something, and you're not making sales, isn't that enough indication for you to know that you've entered, you've not entered decline stage, just that you don't have customers. But same thing applies to products. The engagement will be low. Some people will even use the app. They might download, they'll know, but you can only know this too as a result of what? Tracking, tracking. So don't get to decline stage. At every phase, get feedback, hear from your customers, know the stage at which you are at every point in time. At least there should be at least track it. Your key performance and you should be able to track it. Your KPI is to know what you are doing. Do you understand? So if that hasn't answered your question, you can ask further question. The next one is, what is the best method to be used when introducing your product to the market to avoid losses in case the product didn't go past the introduction stage? And that is why we tell you that you should use agile. Be agile. When you are agile, right? Even if there will be losses will be much. Why? Because you use a lean method of approach. You use your limited features, the functional features, your minimum features to test your idea, and it's functional. So when you, if it's like water, for instance, water for you use, or maybe your product is having like 100 features, and you decide to use it. At the end of the day, you now realize that this is not even what your targeted audience, that is not what they even want. Please, how will you feel? You've paid your developers, you've paid your designers, even the time, the resources. How would you feel? You'll be sad, right? So that's why we tell most, we don't even need to tell you. We don't need to tell you. That's what you should do. You have to be agile. If you don't want to have loss, if you don't want to make losses, to avoid story that touches the heart. Okay. What other question? Is it a must the client takes place? If you don't follow up, it will take place, because yes, it will definitely happen. If you are not growing, eh? For instance, what can I use as an example? Yeah, maybe, what can I use as an example? You are eating the same food all the time. Maybe today, yeah, maybe you are selling white rice. No, don't let me use food so that you not think I like food. What can I use as an example? Like, if there's no growth, if there's no innovation, satisfaction will drop. It's just like water that you are drinking. You're very tasty. You launch a new product, everybody's buying. At some point, because of, yeah, like, you want something different. Even if the features is just one, just do try as much as possible to add a little bit of steez, add a little bit of, sorry, I said steez, add a little bit of, add something new to your product. That's, that little thing you had goes a long way for your users to stay. But doing the same thing all over and over again, and the funniest thing is that you have a competitor, because once they see that you've launched a product, they will also do the same thing. But the difference between you and your competitors is their unique proposition, because they will definitely put something that will differentiate that product from theirs, and that's what they will capitalize as. So if you are launching a product and you are still on the same spot, look at Apple, for instance. Different what's it called, brand. That is this brand I'm supposed to use. All kinds of different types. Should I use what type? We have Pro Max, we have Max, we have Pro, we have X Max, we have iPhone 10, 11, iPhone. Is there iPhone 20? We've not gotten there, but I'm sure we'll still get there, Abby. So from one stage to another stage, and the funniest thing is that if you're an iPhone user, you know that they are just adding some features. But at the end of the day, right, you still figure out that they still have, but there'll be something different. Do you get? So that is what I'm saying. If you don't want to enter the client stage, just try to at least be innovative enough. Do you understand? So yeah, I don't know if that was another question. The product at a decline stage where the cost of product is not negotiable for selling price to reduce. A product at decline stage where the cost of product is not negotiable for selling price to reduce to revive product. How do one go about it? A product at decline stage where the cost of product is not negotiable for selling price to reduce to revive the product. How do one go? I don't understand this question. If you can rephrase the question. It might not be okay. A product at a decline stage where the cost of products is not negotiable for the selling price to reduce to revive the product will go. It might not just be the cost of product that is the problem. There are other factors that is the problem. It might not just be the cost of products. And the only reason why, if they really, let's assume that you carried out the research and they say that, and the feedback you got that the cost is too high or something, right? and you it's not negotiable for you, the selling price to reduce to revive it, that what will you now do? I'm sure that in this kind of situation, right? Maybe you just have to like have like, how do I answer the question? And do you understand that maybe you have to like how do I answer this question? A product at decline stage, that the cost of product is not negotiable for selling price to reduce to revive the product. How do one go about it? I think you really need to figure a way out, really, because you're not the only one that you're selling this product. Because if the only way that you know want to reduce it is maybe you're the only one, or better still, what you can just do is that carry out a research on your competitors, right? At least I believe that you're not the only one that you're selling these products. You're not the only one that is selling these products, right? You're not the only one that is selling these products. So carry out a research on your competitors. Know what they are doing differently. If it's require you to know where they are getting their own items, do more research. Because I'm sure for you to have entered the client stage, you have a competitor. You're not the only one. So carry out the research on your competitors and know what they are doing and how they are able to carry out their own product. And yes, their prices is not as extreme as yours. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do. I don't know who's calling. So that's it about that. And the next one is, yes, a product can be revived after reaching. I think I've answered that. Please, ma, what other consideration? I didn't get. What, please, ma, that's other consideration. I didn't get it. Okay, for the other consideration I was talking about, right? Let me check my slide so I can know what you're saying because I'm no longer showing my slide. I hope you can hear me because I am the only one talking. Everybody's quiet. I said for other consideration, I said very few products follow the same cycle. Many products don't even make it through all the four stages. Some stages even bypass stages. I mean that there are some products that it is when some will even enter decline and introduction phase. Because introduction phase is when you are newly launching your products, right? To know if your product is going to be accepted by your what? By your users. So this is a period whereby you need to be doing research, advertise. I say research. This is the time that you need to be doing more advertisements to see if your for your users to test the features, to test your products, gather feedback from them, right? So some people might gather feedback and they might like maybe because they use waterfall now, they are discouraged. Do you understand? They are discouraged, they are not ready to even go further to go and do anything again. So some people will even enter decline stage at introduction phase already. That's what I'm trying to say. So some stages might even from what's it called, from introduction they might even enter what's it called, decline stage, like I said earlier on. So the most important thing is that just try to be agile in your approach. So there is no set way for a product to go, in the sense that there is no timeline. It's not that it is after 3 months or that you enter. So no, there's no timeline for it. You can enter at any point in time if you fail to do your own due diligence. So therefore, every product requires a great deal of research and a close supervision throughout its life. That's what I'm saying about other consideration. Without research and proper supervision, your product might never get out of the first stage. I don't know if that answered the question for that other person. Yes, rebranding can work at decline stage. That is if rebranding is the only problem you have after you've conducted your research. Yes, because you have to do a proper tear down to know where the problem is from. How do we get the assignment submitted? Okay, I'm going to communicate that to you on Telegram, because yeah, I think a link will be shared. You're going to submit because normally we're supposed to group everybody. You should have a group, but as we proceed, you'll be grouped. Do you understand? So, but for now, that we're still using YouTube, we definitely communicate that to you and how to submit the assignment. That also will be communicated. You know, you have two assignments now. This is the second one. Yeah. So, um, what other question? Is it advisable for PM to employ the service of a brand ambassador while using beneficial pricing model in order to get purchase? Is it advisable for a PM to employ the sales of a brand ambassador while using penetration pricing? It depends. It depends. It depends on the organ. If you can afford it, if you can, you can go ahead. If it's not a startup, it depends. A product that declines stage because of high selling price, where the cost of production is not negotiable. I've answered this question. Which is the best, penetration pricing or skimming? It depends on the stage at which you are. If you are still in introduction phase, I will I will tell you, I will advise you to just use penetration so that you can get your audience first. Forget the profits for now. By the time they earn your trust, even if you now want to increase it later, they will buy it because why? They've already earned your trust. Can a product survive if it jumps from growth to maturity? Sure now. After growth is maturity now. If you are able to if you are able to enter maturity, how can you move product from growing stage to maturity stage, especially physical products? You have to get feedback, like doing follow up back to back, follow up back to back, and you should be able to your KPIs. You should be like make sure you're able to like meet up. That's the only way you can know if you are making progress or not. Do you get? So I don't know if that answered. Please, which app can a product manager use for growth of food? Which app can a product manager use for growth of food? I don't understand. Which app? Is it, are you talking about how to track your, please, which app can a product manager use for growth of food products? I don't understand that question. Please rephrase it. How do you know the stage of product that is existing in the market already without recording information? You have to know. You will definitely know by carrying out the research. And so if your idea is not, let's assume that you're working on a product that nobody has ever worked on, then you'll be the first. Yeah. But when you are being, yes, you'll be the first person. But if you are working on a product, for example, you should know who your target audience are, right? So when you know who your, like if you are working on a flow app, the reason why I'm using a flow app is because I'm a lady, right? So you have to like reach out to ladies, hear from them what do they want on this product, what are the features they're expecting. Do you understand? So by the time you reach out to them, you can conduct you can even have a focus group whereby you can gather feedback from them, or you have one-on-one interaction with them, or you, there are better ways you can gather feedback from users. At least you know who those the product they are working on, you know who you are making that product for, right? So it's very very easy for you to be able to reach out to them, hear from them. Don't be lazy, don't be in your house and be assuming things. Go out, get real data, since we assume that is not existing, right? So get data from them. So the data you get is going to enable you to know the features that they want to see on that product. Do you understand? Yeah, I think I've answered that question. Uh, which other one? Like I said, regardless of the business you are doing that is into decline stage, you have to carry out the research to know what the problem is. It could be one, maybe maybe your pricing is high, maybe you need to rebrand. I think I've answered this question. I've answered this question. So that, let me check other question. I think there's a product, somebody is asking that what if you use many features? You cannot, see if you want to use all the features on the product, maybe you are building an app and that app has like 200 features. It's too much now. It's you're going to overwhelm your users with multiple features, and they used to call that feature overload or feature creep, because when a product has too many features, it can lead to several issues, complexity and confusion among your users. Yes, now, because user will find the product so confusing that it will very very difficult to navigate, and it will lead to frustration. Because for instance, now you're working, you want to use an app, maybe you want to read message and you are not looking for message icon because the features are too much complexity, it's too complex. So the most important thing is, it's not advisable, right, that the features are too much. But whatever features that you're putting on your app, Let's be something that will enable them to have seamless service and seamless experience. If you're having too many features, it will reduce the usability. Many features can cluster interface, making it hard for features to find their functionalities, like I said. Do you understand? And they may not even know which features are even most relevant to them because it will hinder their ability to achieve the goals efficiently. What's the point of you building an app that, they will even leave your app because there's another app they will go and use? Everybody wants they want ease. Nobody has time to be navigating this thing. So one of the things you should think about is that the reason why you are digitalizing in the first place is to make transaction easy for your users. So if you are not doing all the 100 features, what are you doing? Ask yourself. What is the point of digitalizing traditional method? It's not for easy access and seamless access. So what's the point? If you're having so Know the most important features. That's why prioritization takes place. You prioritize your features. When you prioritize your features, you know the key features that is very important to your users. We are not there yet, but when we get prioritization framework, you understand better. So let's just leave it at that. Yes, it's that during relaunch, the cycle begins from the first stage. Exactly, because you have to come back that we are back. We did a product here now that we're saying that there's a name. I don't want to call you the name of the products. And what we titled it as what the name of that product that we are back. So we are now introducing the products that we are back because they know that product is dead. So you are back again to life. So you have to begin from the first stage. Is product prototype part of the introduction stage? Prototyping, you have to do prototype before you even start what's it called, before your dev guys even start building. And designers, for instance, a design, if you want to build a product, once they've done their low file, they'll do their high prototyping. That's when they will test it. So when they are done with their high prototyping, that is when they will now build. Do you get? So prototyping is still another way of testing your idea, but prototyping is expensive than low file because prototyping already have call it a dummy features whereby it's not functional, but you can navigate, but you think it's functioning, but it is not functioning. But it's just for us to test it before building it. I don't know if you understand that, Sha, but we get there. Don't worry. Just do like this. Take a chill pee. You get there. Yeah, I even love the fact that we are asking all these questions. It shows that we are ready. Don't worry. By the time you are done with this course, I can't wait to hear you. And these are people I'll be saying, oh, when I started my tech journey, I mean, when I listen to some speakers, because I used to attend tech events, and they just and when I look at someone, they just say, when I started my tech journey, so a time is coming that you also say something like that. When I started my tech journey, so just do like this. Don't worry, you'll get there, you understand better. So I hope I'm able to share uh, more light on your questions. Can relaunch skip any stage? How do you want to skip stage? You cannot skip stage now. You want to move, the product is dead. Dead. You know when something is dead, so you want to revive it. I'm not sure you can skip stage. I'm not sure you can skip stage. It depends on what really led to your it depends on what really led to the product death. Do you understand? It depends on if maybe it's a trust issue. Like when I was using that cream as an example for ladies that use all this beauty whatever, right? Sorry. And the person said when you use the cream you turn to yellow, and you now use it, you now turn to green, and eventually the product died. Trust issue if you've lost your trust on a product, for you to now revive that kind of product now, easily you cannot even skip any stage because number one, you have to earn that trust back by building a product from introduction phase. Test it, let your user experience it, and let them gain your trust. So it depends on what leads to the death of that product to determine if, but that I'm not sure if we can skip any stage. So I think I've answered all the questions. because yes, I think I've answered all the questions. So yeah, I hope I'm able to deliver value to everyone. When I started my tech journey, duh, I love that it's know. Like when people just say, I look. Oh, another thing you should also do is please attend tech events. Don't stay in your room and be saying that you want to be a go out, go out. Don't stay in the house. Go. And another thing about tech is that most jobs, right? Even from events, you can meet people and tell people my name is BC, I'm a PM, I have this experience. And for you that we are still learning, right? You can easily tell them I'm ready to work for you for free. Oh. Tell them that what I'm focused on is that I want to gather experience, I want to build my portfolio. Don't be in your house and be saying that you don't want to enter the sun because tech is they work remotely and you that you're still in introduction phase. Oh my god, you're still in introduction phase. So you're still in introduction phase. So please go out. Go out. Let them go out. Be attending tech events. All right. Be attending tech events. So that you also someday you also tell them you'll be speaking to people. When I started my tech journey, it all started. Do you understand that kind of thing? Yeah, so that's just it. So I think thank you all for joining. For the assignment, let me mention again. Look for a product that is in introduction phase, a product that is in growth stage, maturity phase, and decline stage. And tell me why you think they're in that stage, right? So let's take it from there. So that's the assignment. So for the submission, right? Somebody says still in the introduction stage so that we don't decline. You cannot decline. As long as you're putting this energy, you cannot decline. But don't stop your learning in class. Please, there are a lot of free courses online that you can as well take. So that even when we are teaching you, you already have an idea. So it's very, very, very fast for you to comprehend what we are teaching. Don't just limit what you are teaching because the slide is, we're just trying to we cannot pack all the old materials here for 2 hours. So just try as much as possible to also push yourself and also tell your story on LinkedIn. If you check my page on LinkedIn now, the first like you is there. Yeah, yes, when I started, is there. Do you understand? So, well, lately I'm kind of lazy now, but I mean something I still do. But introduction phase, please, so that you can enter maturity stage. So if I'm talking to you, I'll be using introduction phase to talk going forward. I don't want anybody to enter decline phase, please. Okay, so I think that's all for tonight, ladies. Thank you all for joining the call, and let's have a great night. Bye.
And an AWS cloud agent.
Hello, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's class. A very big thank you to our facilitator for tonight. We really enjoyed the class. Thank you very much. Please, let's keep our questions coming in. Let's send in our question as much as we can. We are going to be getting updates after tonight's class about onboarding to the learning management system. Please, let's keep an eye on our email and make sure that we are active on the community as well. Let's keep checking our email and make sure that we are active on the community. You can also go back and watch this video. Ensure that you also subscribe so that any other information that is important for you, you get it. You get notified about them. Thank you very much for tonight. We hope to see you in the next class. Have a wonderful time.